There we go. All right, I'm using a...
There we go.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Oh, shit, my name pops up now. Can I change that? Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Ah, look at that. That's so neat. My name's there and everything. It's like I have a trademark. I wonder... Oh, my God, I have so many new things to play with. I should have been using streaming software a long time ago. You know, on... what's it called? I'm trying to think. On TikTok, I posted like a video being like, hey, I like children. Not many other people, though. And it just and I mentioned that like I worked at a prison, and oh man, wait. Oh man, it has a little fucking StreamYard thing in the corner. That sucks. Remove from stream. What does that mean? Oh, it's probably about me. Oh well. There's like 11 people here, none of you are talking. Jesus. But when I worked at the prison, like I heard a lot of things that, you know, criminals did, chomos and stuff. And there's this one guy who he was in for life. Luckily, there was one guy who was put to death for something similar. But he literally, let me put it this way, he got drunk and he had relations, non-consensual ones, with a 6-month-old child until it died. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing that I bring out whenever somebody's like, oh, support the death penalty. And I was like, oh, well, that guy. I think the death penalty should exist, if for nothing else, to put that guy down. Anyways, hello, April Emily Jones. Can I? Okay, I know that I can. Oh, yeah, see, I can. Wait, is this working? Yeah, I can put your guys' comments up now. It's so cool. Oh, fucking good evening to you, too. Good evening. Shishi, what's up? Countess Shishi. How are you doing? Mar is here as well. The whole gang's here. Well, not the whole gang, but like some of the important people, right? Some of the people have been around forever. Ruth, what's happening? I'm still going to reply to your email, by the way. I've just been a mess recently, and I have a lot of stuff to deal with. Also, the stream is like mirrored for me, so it's really screwing me up. Like I don't know how to fix my hair because it's backwards. Is that correct? Is this correct? I think so. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see what else is up. Death is too kind of a punishment for that crime. I agree. If there was I literally cannot even think of a punishment that is proportional to that, if I'm being honest. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's awful. I'm trying to think of other stories to tell. That's what I usually do until I start getting questions and stuff. I'm sure me and Seth got into some antics I could talk about. Wait, what are we talking about? I was talking about a dude who, when I was working at the prison, he did things to a 6-month-old kid till it died. Wasn't fun. Was not fun. It was funny, actually. My buddy at the prison, I probably shouldn't say his name, that guy comes up to him and he's like, what's the most advanced math class you've ever taken? And my buddy was like, I don't know, like algebra, whatever, like high school level course, right? And the guy who I was referencing, he was like, oh, that's it. Well, I took, and like started listing off some super advanced math courses. And my buddy said, well, yeah, what's that doing for you now, you baby raper? And the dude just like walks away. That was hilarious. All right, you see the Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix, great psychological analysis. I really want to watch it. I read like some books when I was younger on Jeffrey Dahmer, and he's always fascinated me as far as serial killers go. Like, just his demeanor is not what you would expect for somebody who's a serial killer, right? He was just like so neurotic. I read once that like some people thought he had BPD. I'm unsure about that one. I would have to know more about him. Public hanging. Yeah, let's make some gallows. Guys, let's make gallows. It'd be so fun. Not actually. Like, what if we had brought back, like, I feel like a public execution would be a great date idea. You know what I mean? Apparently in France, they used to like sell like little mini guillotines, like put like rats in and crap for kids. It's weird. What's that awful? Yeah, right. Jesus Christ. Your hair looks fine, Jacob, but what if it doesn't? I can't tell because everything's backwards. This is like seriously an issue. Oh my God, I just ran out of hair gel. I just remembered. Maybe not. I might not have a video for a few more days until that comes in. Pretty sure my ex has some of my backup hair gel. Give me back my stuff, mainly my hair gel. Fuck. I literally can't fix it because it's backward. That's a good comeback. Yeah, honestly. I think he was a psychopath, like a secondary psychopath, maybe. He's definitely not a primary psychopath. He was way too neurotic for that. He was just, Jesus. I remember, like, wasn't his first murder like some dude he brought home from a bar, and the dude said he had to leave, so he like flipped out and murdered him, and like hid it in his grandma's basement, and his grandma was like, "Something smells down there," and like he was kicked out, and it was like a body. One second. What is your educational background? I love this question. I want you to guess first, but then I'll answer. Evening all, how's it going? Discord mom. Let's make a gallows. Let's make a gallows. That's fun. Yes, it is. Mar, I don't need your judgment. That would be fun. KFK, what's happening? I wasn't sure if you're going to be able to make it. It looks like he belongs to the T-Birds. Grease reference? Guys, I don't know what. I've watched Grease when I was younger. I don't know what the T-Birds are, though. I'm sorry. But I have been compared to, like, Danny Zuko, like, more times than I can imagine, if I'm being honest. It's because of leather jacket. I didn't comment, but the interview with the narcissist specialist was. Wait, oh yeah, I forgot. I can show comments. Check that shit out, guys. I didn't comment, but the interview with the narcissist specialist was awesome. We'd be moving therapists. Oh man, no, I'm not. First of all, his practice is actually booked right now, and I think you can see why. But also, I don't know. I have a really hard time opening up to dudes, especially in that kind of context. So I would need a woman therapist. But fuck, he is a great therapist. I would, any MPD person, I'd be like, yeah, go to him or somebody that you recommend or that he recommends. Your hair is always fine. Don't worry. Aw, thank you. It's not, though. It's not perfect right now. It's really making me upset. Backward mirrored stream. Jesus. I can't even make it good. Can I, like, I need to find a mirror. Yeah, he had abandonment issues big time. Oh, I can show it. I forgot. Yeah, he had abandonment issues big time. Yeah, he really did. And like, isn't that why he would like put acid in the heads of people so that he could make them into like zombies that like wouldn't leave him? Basically, it's fucked up. Jeffrey Dahmer was a weird one. Apparently the Pope gave him forgiveness because like he was repentant. That's a weird thing about Jeffrey Dahmer is that like it felt like with him he never really wanted to kill, but he just would, and then was like super repentant afterwards. And then the Pope forgave him because he asked for forgiveness. I've read that book 1984. The dude's fear is rats and scare him putting a cage around his face with a cage separating his face from starving rats. I'd say something like that to his junk. But let the rats get it, actually. Like, forget the cage. Just, like, drop them in a pit full of rats or something. What's a better... Oh, my God. I think it was the Mongolians who would do this really cool execution method. Okay, cool is not the right word. But basically, they'd tie this guy up and feed him nothing but, like, honey and sugar and stuff like that for like weeks until he was just like crapping it out everywhere. And they put him in a boat and it would like fill up with his own feces. And they just push him out, still all tied up, and like bugs and crap would eat him alive. That's a good one for that guy. I was talking about. What's up, Stephanie? I'm literally realizing people are coming in and have no idea what context I'm talking about this. I'm scaring everybody away. I have reason to believe Dahmer was psychotic. I deep dive and he's literally dissociate and mumble to himself. That wouldn't surprise me. That really wouldn't surprise me if I'm being honest. I reckon you're smart as fuck. Oh, thank you. That's a lot coming from you, given you're a doctor, Ruth. I'm going to put that up there for everybody to see. A doctor said I'm smart, guys. It's verified. In fairness, I have had an IQ test done, so I know I'm smart. It's actually really funny. When I had that IQ test done, I was so anxious about the results because in my head, that's like an objective measure of intelligence, that I literally dodged the neuropsych person's calls. I was like, I can't know. But it ended up I'm pretty smart, apparently. Abandonment issues, like with BPD, how like they fear people leaving them and stuff like that, where like for me it manifests as I get like super panicky if I feel like somebody has changed their opinion on me and thus is going to leave me. And what I'll try to do is I'll like actually leave them first to prove that like I'm above this. I don't need them anyway. But you know. T-Birds are the cool guys, John Travolta types. I am the cool guys. Thank you, Mar. Well, you didn't say that. You didn't compare me to him, but you explained it. I'm thanking you for explaining it to me. My ex-sociopathic narcissist has a new GF that is a splitting image of me, and he tries to make her even more like me by adding her similar to clothes. Jesus, fuck. Can you explain the thinking behind this? He has a type? Honestly, whenever I break up with someone, did you break up with him? Because I don't know, maybe that's some shit going on there, and he's like fixating on you. Whenever I break up with somebody, I'm like done. I don't care. I do have a type though, physically wise. I don't know, like, I guess if I was fixated on somebody and I had to replace, I want somebody better than my ex. Is the thing. That's what I am focused on. And I guess making them sort of more similar to them might rub the salt in the wound a little bit more. But that wouldn't be my only motivation, though, in dating somebody. It might just be that he's kind of controlling and has a very specific type. Did he like make you try to change your appearance when he was with you? And mostly self-educated. Thank you. I'm an autodidact. I would say, like, I mean, I had a couple semesters of college, but like they were like nothing, and they were nothing related to this whatsoever. I never even took a psychology course in college. I did take a psychology course in high school, like an AP class, but nothing related to pathology was in there. What does a narcissist mean when they say their new supply / GF isn't going anywhere? And he has said this before. What do you mean it's not going anywhere? He probably is like, oh, this person's not perfect for me. Oh, like my soulmate's still out there. And that would probably be a subtle sign to you to be like, I mean, assuming that this is somebody that you were involved with or that you know has a thing for you. That'd probably be a subtle sign of like, oh, I am willing to break up with this person, because that's the kind of hints I would drop when I was dating my ex and my borderline came back, where I'd kind of be like I would drop things like, oh, I'm just not happy with her. She's not special, blah, 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 in hopes that she'd pick up on that and be more open to me about being interested in me. Because, but also I didn't want to break up with her because one, I did like her. I didn't want to break her heart, but at the same time, it was nice having somebody there that could make my borderline feel like, oh, like I don't need you, I guess. Amazing interview. It really was. Like, I swear to God, it was like, I feel like I won't have trouble topping that video ever, just because of how, like, he's an expert and he gave some great information. Again, if you guys haven't already checked him out, Heal MPD is the channel name. Mark Edenson, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Brilliant guy, knows everything there is to know about narcissism, it seems. and we had a great conversation. My interview is called like A Narcissist Talks to an Expert or something, with like the super clickbaity title and shit. I think you have a master's degree, maybe history. I don't have any degree. That's the funny part, right? It's always I always ask that because it's like so flattering. I mean, people are like, oh, they think I'm educated. Okay, because I'm self-taught almost completely, and my history knowledge is also completely self-taught. I can't think of a single thing that like to this day I know from like college and stuff. I'm really trying to think about that now. No, I just have like a passion for learning stuff, mainly to make it seem like I'm smarter than everybody, but you know what I mean. Also, how's the quality, guys? I want to make sure I don't have to move closer to my Wi-Fi or something. Shut up, your hair looks great, KFK. Thank you. But don't tell me to shut up. I'll talk what I want about my hair. I'm joking. Oh, fuck. Watch now live. Hair-themed exposure therapy for a narcissist. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. I don't know if that exposure... Fuck, you reminded me of it. Now I can't fix my hair again. No, wrong side. Okay. Got it. Jesus Christ. It doesn't even look good still. Mar, that's it. You just shoved me into the exposure therapy. Yes, exactly. He was not the worst. We're talking about Jeffrey Dahmer? I don't remember what we're referring to. The Pope forgave him, but his cellmate didn't. Yeah, that dude got shivved the fuck out of. Anna, what's happening? Lolly, how's it going? Well, you are a Gemini. Geminis are all about the mind with Mercury rulership. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what does that mean for a second? I am all about the mind. All I am is my mind and my hair, my two best qualities. John Wayne Gacy was a narcissistic serial killer. He was a sadist. I'm not familiar with him, actually. I'm trying to think. Did he do anything notable with his crimes? Am I allowed to ask for advice here? I mean, you can. I can't promise I'll give an accurate answer because I can't put myself completely in the space of whatever narcissistic person you know. I might, occasionally someone on TikTok will say just something so out of pocket, be like, my ex murdered my pets and burnt down my house. Why would he do this? I'm like, I don't know. You have to remember, I have not engaged in like a lot of super abusive behaviors and stuff, so I can't really put myself in those places, but I can try. Autodidact, damn vocabulary. I know what I am. I will purposely use words that I know people won't understand just to make myself seem smarter because I'm an asshole. It's really dumb. Can you talk on splitting? How long does it take for you to paint somebody white again after painting them black? That's a really good question, actually. Let me think about it. So primarily what happens, for me at least, is it takes a while for me to split. Well, it depends. If I'm in a relationship, it takes a while. I can split like immediately if I feel insulted or criticized and stuff like that. But usually, if I'm in a relationship, it'll just be like these subtle things I'm not willing to express because of hiding the self, and I don't want them to actually know that I'm upset about something. I'm just trying to keep the peace, various things like that. But eventually, it's like a cup, right? And eventually that spills over, and when it does, the entire thing goes. And when that happens, I might rage out and I'll bring up all these things I've been harboring for so long. And at that point, I'll likely just cut them out a lot of the times if I'm full on splitting. But for example, I had one friend named Becca who I cut out because she was just shitty to me. And though I haven't really, and that was a while ago, over 6 months. And I haven't really painted her white again. But what happens is I'll get drunk and alone, and I'll start thinking about it, and I'll get super nostalgic and regretful. And I think those moments are when I paint them white. Also, something can happen that will trigger me painting them white. It's hard to say what kind of things that would be, but I think it's circumstantial. I might keep somebody black for the rest of my life, at least up until now. But also like something could just make me paint them white again, like Sean. As someone with NBD, have you ever tried to contact or reestablish a friendship? Let me actually show that. Reestablish a friendship or relationship with somebody you discarded in the past, and if so, how much time passed when you contacted them? Yeah, I have. Well, wait, a friend. That's I've wanted people to reach back out to me, right? But I've always been too proud, more or less, to reach back out to a friend, at least in a way that's like constructive. The closest thing is there's an ex that I had, and I reached back out to her, basically being like, hey, like, how are you doing? And she did not take it well, but I genuinely want to know I did miss her and want to know how she was doing. And I was just kind of curious, if I'm being honest. There's something in me that just really wanted to get some kind of closure. But it's rare. It really is. Maybe because like the thing is, I always want them to reach out to me, and I'm too proud to do it myself, which is really stupid. So I might do like subtle things, like post song lyrics or some stupid shit. But I don't really reach out myself. Now I'm thinking about it. Jacob, how to make meaningful relationships with people instead of pushing them away? If I figure that out, I will tell you. No, you just gotta be vulnerable and hope for the best. And there's a good chance that won't even work. I subconsciously push people away all the time because I'm being vulnerable. I really try not to. I'm trying to be like super conscious of it nowadays, but it's hard. How to reattract narcissists after a dramatic breakup. Why do you want to reattract them? Were they shitty? Were they abusive? Because I do not condone that. But if you really want them back, I don't know. I just wait. Well, did you break up with them or did they break up with you? Because if you broke up with them, you just have to wait a month, and then like if you reached out, they'll probably act like they are like neutral towards it. But I guarantee that somewhere in them they're like grateful. You're not grateful. Do you believe there are winners and losers in the genetic lottery in terms of personality? Yeah, I'm the loser over here. I got a personality disorder out the ass. It fucking sucks. Yeah, I do think that there is. I'm not sure about non-pathological personality because it's hard to basically make a hierarchy in terms of, well, no, I guess that's not true. But there's a lot of factors when it comes to personality. But I do think genetics has a significant role, and probably more than most people think. Agree. From you as an interviewer and Mark E. Brilliant. It really was. It's great quality good here. Oh, thank God. Thank God my quality's all right. He's a good dad, but he wants us to do things together. He wants us to do things together with her, like Halloween and ear piercing, just some examples. And I told him I need space. We aren't a family, and he's trying to spend time with. Wait, I'm confused. And he's trying to spend time. Not going anywhere. Wait, what? He wants you to spend time with his current girlfriend? That's weird. Okay, unpopular opinion. I don't think that most narcissists use, and I don't know about most, but I think a significant portion don't use women as supply, quote unquote, or sources of stuff. And don't get me wrong, they can contribute self-esteem juice. But for me, it's always been this desperate bid to find the unconditional love I always wanted and somebody that will understand me. Constantly. I am always no, I need somebody who is perfectly attuned to me, who will love me for who I am, gay shit, I guess, that I will never tell somebody, and somebody who's my soulmate, right? For me, partners were, if they weren't filling that role, that it was always basically complementary to my other sources of self-esteem juice, right? I would use them so that men would be envious of them, envious of me for having somebody like that. For me, it sounds like he feels unhappy in his relationship, and he's and if he is going to you, then he's oh, this person will finally understand me. Or maybe it's a bid by him to do some power play on his partner right now, being I don't need you. I can get whoever I want. Look, I'll get this girl. was involved with a narcissist as a teenager 4 years ago. 3 years of love bombing, and she turned to devaluation. Jesus. Yeah, that's the thing. It's that avoidant attachment style. Like, for me, it's like I want what I can't have. And as soon as I have it, I like get bored of it and don't want it anymore. It fucking sucks. It really does. I'll spend years, like not years, but I'll spend a long time pining after somebody. And as soon as I have them, I'm like, wait, this person isn't perfect. Fuck. It sucks. Have you ever been trauma bonded? If yes, how does it feel for you? I guess you could argue that with my BPD person it's hard for me to really say in regards to, like, I'm not super well educated on what a trauma bond is. I'll be honest. I never really looked into it, but it's that like intermittent, fuck me. If it's like that high, low all the time, and you're always chasing that like high, then yes, I was very trauma bonded. And how did it feel for me? I imagine it feels similarly for me that it did to you guys, of always just, it's like I would be so convinced I was in love with this person, and then like I would split too and basically be like, I hate them, I never want to see them again. And eventually something would happen. I'd go back because I get all nostalgic about how much I love them. So stupid. My BPD, actually, now I think about that one question earlier, I think she's the only one that I ever like reach back out to. That fucking girl. I don't understand anything other than it not being fun anymore, so I joined the military and departed. Wait, are you talking about something? Oh, okay. And so I joined the military. Well, congrats. Well, thank you for your service, by the way. I am also military. Whenever I get super awkward when somebody says thank you for your service, I usually say thank you for paying my paychecks. I mean, shit. Good for you for moving on. That's all I can really say. Systemic is here. Hey, I learned how to pronounce your name, by the way. That's what's up. Crappy internet. Jacob channel is the best. He is bridging the gap between abuser and people with cluster B. He does not realize that he was one of the best channels out there. Oh, that's so flattering. I love that. I do realize I'm the best channel out there. No, I'm joking. Okay, like it's one of those moments where I'm like, I'm joking, but I'm not. But I'm joking, but like I'm not. You know what I mean? It's like I know cognitively I'm not actually the best, but like at the same time, I'm like, but I am. Thanks so much, then. Appreciate that. My job kept me off the internet, but after 4 years, a new position called me to be advertised. Within a month of being announced, I had an email from her. Oh, it continues. I'm married. She is in a 20-year roommate relationship, so no sexual component to it, but we had another 3 years of love. I mean, this situation seems convoluted as shit, is my main look at here. Maybe break up with, not break up, but like just establish some strong boundaries is all I'm saying. Like you got to. Like situations like that get messy so quick, and like it's so easy to get kind of like caught up in it. The shared fantasy or whatever. Like I remember, let me think. Like, I mean, for me, it was so easy to get caught up in my borderlines, like in like this like idealized version of like what could be our relationship, where I'm like, oh my God, we're soulmates. It's time, like we finally have this chance to be together. Like we have to take it. Meanwhile, I'm cheating on my fucking girlfriend. She has a fucking partner. Such a fucking mess. Hey, CW, what's happening? One night she emailed from bed, which was her nightly ritual, telling me how much she loved me. Next morning it was, don't ever speak to me again. Did you not reply? Because that would have pissed me off. Especially if I was like seeing a pattern beforehand of like getting away. Because I'd be like, oh, like I can't fucking look pathetic like this. It's almost Jesus. Okay, I read all of your stuff here. If you reached out, I would put like there's one of two options. Either she won't reply as a power play, or she will be like secretly ecstatic and just kind of be cordial, right? I mean, from the sounds of that situation, though, is it worth it? That's a decision only you can make. I can't tell you to do that or not. If you think it's worth reaching back out to this person and you really want them in your life and you're willing to put up with some of the bullshit that is going on, that's on you. Do as you want. I can't tell you either way. From the sounds of it, though, it's not a situation I want to be in, but I get how different it can be looking into a situation than without. I guarantee that you can get them back into your life, though. Just, I don't know if that's the right thing. Wait, I can star. What does it mean when I can star comments? Oh, shit. Cluster B Milkshake's here. What's up? John Wayne Gacy killed teenagers and young adults after torturing them mentally and physically. He displayed grandiose narcissistic incident. He killed men only. That's fascinating. I have never fucking heard of a serial killer who basically their victims were exclusively men. Because, like, oftentimes it's usually women, right? Because some fucking opious shit where, like, they're like, oh, they remind me of my mom. Some crap. Or, like, somebody significant in their life. And the fact that it was men, very interesting. Especially, and I guess it makes sense if he was bisexual because there's always that, like, sexual component to murders, it seems. Who's that fucking guy? Oh, wait, I think that's the person you mailed, actually. The guy who, like, he had sex with that corpse and had to move the maggots out of the way and shit. Wasn't that the guy that you mailed, or was that somebody else? That you were pen pals with? Pen pals? Pen pals, yeah. Are you fully aware that you're lying about things? Would you hold the lie even though someone has proof? Yeah, I'm pretty damn aware when I lie. I would say, though, that there's a line, right? I can misinterpret somebody's actions and be like, oh, you're doing this for this reason, and be dead set in it and think that they're lying to me. And it may come off as a lie if I'm telling other people that. And situations similar to that, I won't be aware of it. But I would say 90% of the time I'm aware I'm lying. No, I would not hold to a lie if somebody had proof. I'd probably fucking hang my head in shame and walk away, or rage out for whatever reason, or say that they deserved me lying because it was easier. I'm trying to think of other situations, but no. Like, if they had proof, unless there was a way for me to discredit that proof somehow, no. That's a waste of time. And that's why I don't tell blatant lies. It's easier to twist the truth or present the truth in ways that would imply something else rather than lie, because lies are so easy to see through. Ooga booga. Yep, fair enough. That's confusing. I thought people with NPD don't miss people. Sometimes I don't, and like I try to tell myself I don't. I try to tell myself I'm above that. But like, if I'm being honest, if I get into a moment of Capri, I will miss them. I miss people pretty frequently, honestly, which is pretty easy when you fucking burnt so many bridges throughout your entire life. When I'm drunk, people are suddenly painted white again, too. Goddamn. Mar, me and you got way too much in common. It might be just that you have those narc traits and I got that BPD traits. I love posting songs with either them being verbally vulnerable. Yes, Cluster B Milkshake. I swear. Sarah, listen, exactly. It's like, oh, you have that plausible deniability, right? It's like, you don't know. It's like, maybe that wasn't about you. I mean, it probably was, but maybe it wasn't. And if they were like, oh, you're being crazy, you post these song lyrics about me, I could be like, what are you talking about? You're the insane one. You're fucking insane for thinking that was about you. Not everything's about you, girl. Oh, man, that's toxic as shit. Yeah. But yeah, fucking way easier. That's the thing, like prodding to see if they get any reaction out of them, see if they're reciprocating it. It's when, and like hoping to God they post song lyrics too, right? That would happen all the time. Is like I'm like watching their fucking Instagram every day, hoping I see a fucking song lyric from them. It's funny. It's funny. And he's confused. Let it go. I do agree, but again, not my place to say. Not any of our places to say. It's your decision. I wouldn't advise it, but whatever. Like I have a buddy, and he just broke up with this girl who he's been on and off with forever, and it's been a rough situation for him. And he frequently gets back together and breaks up, and everyone's like, "You can never get back together with her." And I'm like, dude, if you make that decision, that's on you. I can't tell you not to break up with somebody because you aren't going to learn anything if you're just listening to me. You're going to get back together with him either way. Do what you want. I mean, her. Do what you got to do. I support you either way because you're my friend. It's kind of how I view it. You did a wonderful job on one. Well, I appreciate it, but wait, on one what? Sorry, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Confuzzled. I don't know what you're confuzzled about. I'm sorry. Listen, guys, you need to give me some context. I get so behind in this chat that by the time I get to the comment, I got no fucking clue what's going on. He wants our daughter, him and I. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, this one's hard. I'll be real. I don't have kids. I don't have that good of advice. Have you made it clear to him that that's just not going to happen? Because if you're not comfortable with them, that's a fair boundary to draw. Strong boundaries are so important with people with cluster B personality disorders. It's like, hey, sorry, that's not happening. Nor is it ever happening. You just kind of, make them accept that. And they might, who knows, he might rage out. He might say it's unfair and that, like, you're not being, he might even, like, leverage your daughter in that way. And honestly, like, it may come from a genuine place of, like, this idealization being like, oh my God, I want the perfect family. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, though. You need those boundaries. That kind of brings up confabulation versus lying. That's something Jacob's having trouble making a video on because nobody being able to call him out on his confabulations. Yes. Oh my God, yes. Like, okay, I always say the most dangerous part of me and my sister is that we are intelligent. And like, I can never tell when even when I'm confabulating a little bit, like maybe sometimes in post I can tell. It's rare. It's rare. I don't really confabulate that often. But I'm able to justify my lies and confabulations so effectively because I am intelligent and my sister can do the same thing. It makes us way more like effective at being manipulative because we can just work our way around everything. I wouldn't say in love, but she's still important to me. I told you, man, you got to make that decision yourself. And don't make it impulsively is what I'm saying. Make a pros cons list. Who knows? Write out your feelings, like anything that can help you process that. Talk it out with a friend that, especially one that, well, maybe one removed from the situation, right? So that there's no like biases towards or against, because they may be like, oh, well, I know what's best for this person. And they don't. You're the only person that knows what's best for you. What do you think of a theory that most narcissists are latent gays? The one I've come across is very homophobic, but watches gay porn. Okay, there's a lot to unpack in that. One, no, I don't think we're latent gays for the most part. I know a lot of female narcissists, and they're not gay. Some of them are. But no, I'm completely straight. I've never been turned on by a dude, and that sounds like some like pre-Freudian shit right there. He's homophobic but watches gay porn. How the fuck does he justify that? Does he tell people that? No. I don't think sexuality has any bearing on it. I did have an interesting conversation with my friends about gender recently, where I'm like, gender doesn't have anything to fucking do with my identity. I view myself through a lens of my personality, and my sex is a component of that. Sure, not even my sex isn't a component of my personality either. It's like, why does it matter? And that might be why I come off as, because people think I'm gay a lot, but that might be kind of wise because like I don't fucking care about what is considered masculine or feminine, because like who cares? That's not part of my personality. My gender doesn't have an effect on it. He refuses to have his G and F and I me. Well, that's probably understandable, honestly, even for somebody who wasn't pathological. Okay, so how do I ask him a question? Who? Like a narcissist or like me? You ask a question of me. I love thank you for paying. Thank you. I love it too. It took me a long time to think of it. I had no intention of going back ever, but she reached out 3 years ago and we reconnected. Are you guys? Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. So it's recent that this is being considered that you guys did. You proud of your channel, what you're achieving. It's normal. Aw, thank you. It's always so cool to have like clinicians comment on my channel, because sometimes I'm like, oh, what if I'm only saying like crazy shit? What if I'm like completely wrong? And it's always nice to have it like validated. I really want to record a therapy session between me and my therapist. My last session, I asked her if we could do that. She said she had to check like codes or something. Oh no, Jake can say her name now. The sky is falling. Everybody hide. Yes, it's that change of the century. I'm pronouncing something right. You said you like geography? Geography? Yeah, I do. Wait, did you say something earlier that was relevant to that? I'm not sure. And all who mix of personality traits is being too entitled, lazy, and prideful to do anything work-related and having the belief and desire to be someone. Yeah, honestly, fucking look at me. I wouldn't say I'm lazy, but I do have really bad executive dysfunction. I do feel entitled, so combination of ADHD bullshit and depression bullshit. Which ASPD traits do you have? Fuck. I know the one of like being financially irresponsible is one. What is it? The lack of remorse, I think, where I'll like fucking justify what I did and like rationalize it and stuff like that. I think those are the two. I don't remember. Literally just goes, if you feel so mistreated, why bother? I think that's valid for a lot of people to do. Personally, I don't like that because I know how I'd react to it. Like, to me, ghosting is one of the worst things you can do to me. It is a combination of me being ignored and abandonment anxiety. I'd lose my fucking mind. We're able to be vulnerable with your emotions here at BPDX from time to time. We're able to trust her. Well, never trust her, that's for sure. At the time, I was so just closed off to everybody. I could barely express. I would say that she got the most of my vulnerability, but even that was barely anything. Honestly, like, I feel like nowadays I'd be more vulnerable with her than I am now. Just like, even if we weren't a thing, just because like it's like I was so closed off. Nobody knew anything I was thinking. One thing I adore about Cluster B channel is that she was discussing PPD. She's so awesome in her conversation. Yes, I love that video of hers. I just watched that because I feel like people get paranoid personality disorder, obsessive compulsive personality disorder, and MPD confused all the time. Like, I read some comments, I'm like, bro, that ain't NPD. You're dealing with a paranoid guy. And paranoids are terrifying. I'm about to make a video actually on like the differential diagnoses, or what I think people would often misconstrue as narcissism, and comparing them and stuff. Because like PPD, BPD, and OCPD are the ones that immediately come to mind. And I guess ASPD. And that's more due to the misconception about narcissism than like actual similarities, but you know what I mean. Am I the only one whose the quality of the video has gone drastically down? Yeah, I noticed that like for a second the video went like really bad, but I think it's better now. I hope it is. Mar, tell me. I just wonder if I should do something nice or drop it. I mean, it just really depends on what you want, dude. I mean, like, even if, I mean, you know, a nice gesture is a nice gesture, right? It's going to be cool. But if you feel like it's going to bring her back, like, if you don't intend to have her back in your life by doing something nice, then don't. That will just be an opportunity if she does want you back in your life to try to rope you back in. Everyone lies, including so-called empaths. All is fair in love and war, right? It's a process to find our persons. Yes. Thank you, Shishi. Like, that's the thing, is that, like, lying to me at least feels so normal. It just feels like another way of interacting with people. And I know people don't appreciate that. I don't think it's as common as I want to think it is, but everybody does lie. Everyone's lied at least once. Isabel, what's happening? Countess Isabel. What do you think about schizophrenic narcissists? That doesn't sound fun for them or anybody involved. I have no idea about schizophrenic narcissists, though. I know a schizophrenic BPD. That person doesn't have a good time. I honestly have no opinions on it because I have no idea how that would manifest. Even worse solutions of grandeur. I have a question. Why are you so damn cute? Touching my heart. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I wish I knew how I was cute. I give you guys my secret. No, I wouldn't. I need everybody to love me. I might go live on TikTok tonight. I never have before, and I kind of want to see how it goes. Those people are fucking unhinged, though. Jeffrey Dahmer only killed guys simply because he was gay. There's indeed often a sexual meaning to it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, okay, Jeffrey Dahmer killed guys, too. Only guys. It's interesting. How do you feel that somebody, if you really caught you in a huge lie, you exploded in rage at them, then both sides, and when no contact, would you be missing that person thinking of them? Probably not. I would be I'd probably block them out due to shame, or I would rationalize that probably. I wouldn't be able to handle that. I can't think of especially if I had a rage afterwards, because that implies that I thought I had a good reason for lying. So I'd be mad that they were getting upset, because in my head I'd be like, well, I need to do this. Why can't you see that my intentions were valid? So I probably wouldn't. Maybe down the line. I mean, hell, the dude that was a good friend of mine and I slept with his ex. I rationalized that in my head for years. Years. I mean, you did a great job on your interview. Typo, my bad. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I was confused. On one. Why wouldn't a narcissist have his recent GF and daughter's mom meet if he's serious with her? Is that something that normal people would want? I mean, one, to me, it would be awkward. Two, it's I don't know what kind of terms you guys are on, but if you guys are exes, then I would be oh my God, what is she going to say to her? That could be genuine or not, especially if I felt I had changed. And I'm I wouldn't want her freaking out. But mainly it would just feel awkward too. I don't know if that's normal though. My parents never had their current partners meet, so I wonder if that's related to that. Do you ever start to believe your own lies about yourself and then get shattered? And once again, you realize it was a lie and you did it to yourself? Rarely, yeah. But yeah, usually it's I tell myself a lie and I just do it over and over again until I'm convinced of it. And very rarely do I break out of it then. But yeah, again, some of the times that I did something shitty to somebody and I'm rationalizing in my head, I'm telling myself they deserved it, they deserved it, they deserved it, they deserved it. And then eventually I just, and then again, when I get drunk, I'll be oh, why did I do that? It's all my fault. I love the term latent gay. Yeah, right? Someone made 3 times, break dates last minute, push all friends, holidays, birthday, roses, diamonds, and Rebecca says she's an empath and socially shy. Jesus. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a question there. Still sounds awful. I'm sorry. How's a narcissist made? In my mind, through a combination of genetic predisposition and then abuse to get those traits out. Really unfortunate, let me tell you. Abuse is not fun. Also, just a lot of shame, right? Internalized shame, thinking you're flawed. Try and make a grandiose shell to compensate. How it is for me. That'd be amazing if a therapist can do it. Yeah, honestly, I really hope she can. I think it'd be a really good video. Why you always need secondary supply? It's not hard. It's not that hard to get somebody easy. There will always be options on the street. Why everyone's trying to good for that? Again, I don't do that. It might just be because I know Cluster B talks about it quite a bit. I don't use girls for self-esteem juice usually. Don't get me wrong, they can be a source of it, but that's usually and maybe it's a gendered thing, honestly. But I don't if I have a girl, it's either I think like, oh my gosh, she's perfect for me. She'll finally understand me. She'll finally pry off this mask and see me for who I am. Or I will like, or like they are literally just an accessory to like for people to be envious of, so that other people look at her and are envious of me, and that validates me, right? I never had secondary supply, more or less. I never needed one. And besides, like, why would I need one? I mean, look at me. The only time I ruined something good with somebody that could be classified as secondary supply was with my BPD. And that's just because I was convinced I was in love with her. There are therapists who record and publish one-off sessions as podcasts, but I don't know how it would be ethically to record a session during ongoing therapy. Good point. I didn't even think about that. I was kind of pissed off at her too, because I was like, it's my therapy session. Why can't I record this, bitch? Nah, but I hope she like lets me do it next time. I gotta wonder if being open about emotions actually helps anything. For me, it does. I think the most important and hardest step of recovering as a narcissist is being vulnerable, because we're taught our entire lives we can't be vulnerable. We gotta put up the shell. We gotta protect ourselves. We gotta make everybody know that we are worth something. And then we're convinced that like the real us is unlovable. So eventually so if we can like be vulnerable and that's accepted in the way that we want, because if I get vulnerable with somebody and they're like, you're such a good person, I love you so much, I'm like, that's a fucking lie. I'm not a good person. You aren't seeing me for who I am. I get really pissed off. So it does help. I need the right reaction. Like I said in my comment to cluster B, most common cluster A's are afraid and will take the easiest exit possible. Don't you guys like self-isolate a lot too? Like all of the cluster A's, not just schizoid. Like paranoid and schizotypal are also prone to isolation. It's interesting. Anecdotal, but I get a lot of couples where somebody's convinced the partner is NPD, and when asserted, they're more avoidant and emotionally closed off. Interesting. I have never considered that before. Avoidant has a lot of internalized shame too, so that makes sense. Because it's funny, because I never see people being like, oh, this person is emotionally closed off, they're a narcissist, right? It's usually like abusive behavior that they see, or entitlement, stuff like that, or like controlling. That's a big one. I think that's the biggest one, controlling and jealousy, which is interesting because the criteria in narcissism obviously is envy, not jealousy. And there's a big difference. But jealousy is really tied to a paranoid personality disorder. That's actually one of the criteria, I'm pretty sure. Like chronically accusing your spouse or partner of cheating. And I see that all the time. And they're like, oh my God, he always thought I was cheating, blah, blah. And I'm like, probably not a narcissist. And that's like a huge issue that I see. People will throw around these terms like love bombing, discarding, gaslighting, stuff like that, and be like, that's why he was a narcissist. And I'm like, none of those terms have anything unique to narcissism to it. Were they grandiose? Were they hiding the self? Did they have an unstable identity based on what people were thinking about them? Were all their goals based around like impressing other people? Was their cognitive empathy, was their empathy impaired unless it was like what people are thinking about them? You know what I mean? And that's like a huge issue I see, is that like people look at these buzz terms that we've come up with and they cling on to those and use that for those reasons to diagnose somebody as a narcissist. And it's just a shitty person, or maybe has a different disorder. Are you able to love a girl long term? I don't know yet. I'm hoping. Like in the past, not really, but I feel like I'm getting better at it, better at being consistent with that. I've been trying not to go so headfirst in the thing, so I don't freak myself out, but it's a process. Will be interesting to hear your take on differential diagnosis. Is good. Thank you, Ruth. Ruth. Jesus, not Ruth. Skits in our cap, and most of us end things before 45. Jesus, it looks appealing to me sometimes too. I get the suicidal ideation, but also not good to think like that. Please don't do that. I can't fucking. That sounds rough, dude. Or not, dude, but you know what I mean. I want to experience TikTok live. Oh my God. Do you want to come on my TikTok, Mar? Will you go on my? Will you join my live? Like, come in the comment. I would need you to come in the comments and like defend me and shit because I know there's going to be a bunch of people that be like, narcs are awful. If you need somebody to fight people in the TikTok comments, I'm in. See, that's what. Oh my God, this is crazy though. I've never been recognized in public, right? But a bunch of my friends, like not my friends, but like some people I've known throughout my life, had sent me like screenshots of finding my one of my TikToks on their For You page because I got a TikTok with like fucking like 600K views. I'm like, oh my God, who in my life has seen these? I can't wait for my ex to see it and like make like a narc abuse channel or something. There's nothing on earth that would inspire me to introduce my exes ever. Yeah, exactly. Why would you? Unless I was like close friends with one, I can see that happening. But like, fuck that. Fuck. How's a narcissist fix problems in relationships with people? Seems as if narcissists can't apologize or admit any faults and rather discard a whole relationship. I don't know. I admit my faults just to have situations be over. Just because I want to keep the relationships, right? Like for me, it's just like strong boundaries and like always taking a step back and being like, okay, am I being rational? Let me see it from their side. And usually it kind of takes the form of like, okay, they're being fucking stupid, but I'm not going to change their mind. So I'll just walk away. Because if I keep pressing it, then I'll like fucking get pissed off. My ex-narcissist hid the fact for 9 years. He was an undiagnosed schizophrenic. Fuck. Abused me, shamed me, everybody I do in my life, and it runs for 28 years. Are you sure he was a narcissist, or was he just like having some grandiose delusions because of the schizophrenia? He like, how the fuck did he hide that for 9 years? Jesus Christ, that's awful. Still, I'm sorry to hear that. Question: do you ever feel connected to others in any way? Not really. I can have like these brief moments of it, right? Where like I'll get really capricious and be like, I finally feel connected. And as soon as and then like it's over so quick. Really bugs me. That's one of the things I've been trying to work on my entire life. It's the thing that like honestly was so distressing that it screwed me up. Like I actually went to like when I was a kid, I like actually kind of wanted therapy because I was like, why can't I connect to other people? Why can't I have these relationships that everybody else seems to have? The latent gay thing's really shaking me, but streamer self-care, you know? Yeah, dude, if you need to step away, feel free. Feel free. My streams aren't that important. But shit, yeah, that was a pretty buck wild comment, not gonna lie. Do a study about the thing you mentioned about quiet babies turning out to be narcissists. Oh, fuck. Oh, I need to check. I'm not sure. My parents were always so proud of me because I was so quiet, I never cried, and it fits so much. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't have, like, who fucking was it? It was some clinician that mentioned that. Fuck, I'm not going to be able to remember. I'll look into it though. If I come across it again, I'll let you know. I'll probably just put it in Discord. Because crying is the baby asking for help, and asking help is big no for me. Always has been, right? It's like I can't let them know I'm vulnerable and need their help. I fucking take care of myself. How dare you imply that I need your help? I'm not sure if anyone was asked this, but is it possible to let me know why narcs lie so much? Why the mask? Because we hate who we actually are, and we feel like if anybody sees who we actually are, that they'll leave us and hate us. So we have to lie, hide our feelings. And also the lying might be in part due to trying to secure self-esteem juice, right? Lie about my accomplishments, my achievements, or like protect myself from shame. It's like, no, I wasn't responsible for this bad thing happening. It was this other person. It's very instrumental. And like, I wouldn't say the mask is just lying, right? The mask is also me not sharing what my genuine beliefs on something are. It's me not being earnest with myself, communicating what I want to communicate. I'm afraid it's going to make me look bad. What's your take on frequent gift giving? Like a narcissist doing that? or clarify that and I'll answer, because I'm not sure what you mean exactly. I think you mean a narcissist doing that, but I'm not sure. Nobody is good. True. Everybody is awful. No. Okay, it feels like that, but rationally, I know good and bad are black and white. People are only ingredients. There's no such thing as good or bad, or at least I keep telling myself that, except for that one motherfucker that I mentioned earlier in the stream who did that thing to that baby. That guy's bad. How about narcissists who were never abused? Also, I feel you on no one sees you feeling. Thank you. Right. No, I don't. Okay, so I don't believe that there are narcissists who weren't abused. I'll be honest. I think that, because like I've heard there's no substantial evidence to say that people who have been overindulged have narcissistic personality disorder. I've never come across a study that supports that. That's mainly clinical experience for a lot of people, but so who knows? I personally don't believe it's a thing. If they do look overindulged, what if they were molested as a kid, right? Anything could have happened in that frame of time. And if that happened, fuck, I don't know. I have no idea what could have. I just have never run into anything really supporting that it wasn't abuse that brought it out. Maybe it's just emotional immaturity that looks like narcissism in those cases. Are you familiar with the term reverse hover? Kind of. Hoover. Have you ever done it? Like trying to get somebody to reach out to me, basically? Because, yeah, like I'll post things on social media that implies that, like, oh, I miss you. But I can't show that I miss them. So it's like, this is my way of telling them I miss them without being vulnerable, because I have plausible deniability. Right? They might reach out to me. Does that make sense? Most of the love being alone. We usually don't get harmed or abused as often alone than with others. We're often exploited. Yeah. Don't you guys have like a lot of fear of one, being known, and two, like just in general, like just about what people do to you in that terms? Weird. It is the danger of armchair diagnosis. It really is. That's another thing. Is that like people, because of like the sensationalism around narcissism, we have this tendency to view a lot of abuse through that lens, right? For example, like let's say somebody is being controlled a lot by somebody with, say, OCPD. They're going to assume that's narcissism, because if you look up types of abuse that are pathological, you're only going to run into narcissism and maybe BPD. And like if you're taking advice on how to deal with somebody who's pathologically narcissistic to either get out of the situation or to make things work for whatever reason, you're going to be completely doing the wrong thing. Hence why there's so much bad things to say to narcissists, I feel like, on like articles and shit. That's why I feel like we need to get away from tying mental illnesses to disorders. We can view abuse through the lens of a pathology, right? But we need to prioritize the fact that it's just abuse. You need to get out of that situation, and that maybe pathology is impacting how that abuse presents. That's my take. What leads to narcissistic collapse? How narcissists recover from narcissistic collapse? My personal opinion is that you don't. I went through a collapse, so to speak. I don't really like the term because Sam Backman coined it, and it's just it doesn't reflect, like, there isn't anything in the literature, right? For me, it was when I had, like, again, I spent every day for 3 years hanging out with people. I was never short of my self-esteem juice. And I got back from basic training, and the world had moved on again without me. A lot of people kind of realized I was a dick, and I was alone. And that's what triggered then, like, I was faced with everything I hated about myself. I realized I'd been running the entire time, and I tried to kill myself. And it wasn't a good time, but like, I feel like I've never been able to get back to my grandiosity from back then. I think you can improve after a collapse. I don't think you're ever coming back from it, though. Yes, I agree. Read buzzwords. Thank you. When I hear narc buzzwords, I often believe I'm talking to the most toxic partner. Honestly, though, yeah, a lot of times it feels like that, right? It's like a lot of the times I'm like, oh, somebody would be like, oh my God, my ex was so narcissistic, blah, 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 blah. And if that's what you're focusing on, then there's an issue there, right? And I feel like the tendency to like go for the pathology instead of focusing on what the behaviors were. That's very telling. Again, I admit that I think it can be helpful to know a pathology that affected the abuse. But, you know, would you ever gaslight somebody on purpose, making them doubt their memory perception? I never have. Like purposely being like, oh, you're misremembering things. Oh, like that's not how it happened. Yeah, I have never done that on purpose. I might have. No, I did once because I was curious, because in my psych class, they said that, not in my psych class, but I read it somewhere once, that if you're like, oh, hey, do you remember this thing that is plausible to have happened but didn't actually happen 3 times, that somebody will remember it happening then, because their brain will confabulate a memory. I did that once just because I was curious if it would work. And it was about something super benign, but I did do that once. I've never intentionally made somebody feel like they were crazy, though. I've never done that. I really feel like you're improving and healing, Jacob. It's great to see. Oh, thank you. Isn't that like one of the best parts about this channel, though? Is that like you guys get to see in real time my progress in terms of like handling things more maturely, more like healthily, and like getting away from my pathological behaviors. Not really about narcs, but IG, you got some experience. Don't answer if it triggers you. I'm curious if this will be about my sister or BPD. Sorry to be a bummer. I have some questions about sexual. Oh, okay, even worse. How are you sure of what happened to you if you don't remember all of it? Something might have happened when I was a kid because I started getting flashbacks. I'm 16 now to clarify. I don't know what exactly happened. Not looking for pity, just steps now to know what happened because it's kind of messing with my head. But I don't even know where to approach the issue. Dude, I'll be real. I'm in the same boat. I only get flashes and like flashbacks on it. Like, and it really makes me doubt myself a lot, right? Imposter syndrome, effectively. It's like, no, that couldn't have happened to me. What if I'm just faking it? What if I'm making it up? And it bugs me, right? I just try not to focus on it, and that's not a real way. I think what's important is that you are having flashbacks. And if you go to therapy, my therapist says that as you explore that, more memories will come up. I kind of made the choice of like, I don't want to remember it. I don't want to deal with that, which probably isn't the healthiest thing. I'm just not in a place where I feel like I can. Sorry that happened to you, by the way. But like for me, it really started because I started thinking about it when like I kind of realized how abnormal my shame during sex was, and how like even with things like, you know, myself, I like how much shame was involved with all those things and how I hated it. And then I started exploring that more, and like I started remembering things. I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm getting away. And I guess at the end of the day, all I can say is like, you can't really be sure. I mean, you were probably a kid. And your memories from back then are probably shit. But I would say if you are having effects from it that's impacting your daily life, it's not something happened then. Something happened if you are consistently feeling the effects from a traumatic experience. So it's not worth even like knowing what the exact thing was. Does that make sense? Like if something traumatic happened to you, what does it matter? If it was like definitely sexual assault, or if it was like sexual assault to like a lesser degree or to a more major degree, something obviously happened that's affecting you, and that should be addressed in therapy or whatever. Still, man, I'm sorry. Like, I wish I had better advice for that. It was just, I struggle with it too. Can somebody who suffered narc abuse appear like they are a narc, or so scared that they think everyone is a narc? I think the latter is definitely true. I would say that applies even if the person wasn't narcissistic and they just suffered some abuse and think that because of like articles and shit, that like they were a narc, they would be like, oh my God, there's danger, because that's hypervigilance, right? Especially if it was very severe, they could have PTSD like symptoms. It could be any number of things. I don't think that people who suffered hurt from people like me, though, will present like a narcissist, though. They aren't going to have grandiosity. they aren't going to have entitlement. They aren't going to have hiding the self. Well, maybe they'll have hiding the self. That one's possible because of like kind of walking on eggshell sort of behavior. But like people talk about narcissistic fleas, which is a term I fucking hate. But I do not think that happens other than maybe being like very reactive, a little bit emotionally unstable, stuff like that. What age did you start therapy? I think I was 20. Yeah, 20, because that's around when I had my breakup. But then again, I had therapy on and off for most of my life. I had therapy once when I was 16. I did that for a little bit. I went to therapy when I was, how old was I? I was in college because I was a fucking mess. And all my friends were like, you have to go to therapy. And I did. I fucking hated it. I left. I thought the person was a goddamn idiot because they were. How would you feel if somebody you like would bait you and ignore you, push pull repeatedly for 2 years? I'd fucking be in love with them, probably. Or at least think I was. Because it's like, I'm not getting to the devaluation stage, right? I'm not getting a chance to devaluate them. I'm pining over them because I want them so bad. Then I get them and it's that euphoria. Then it's broken off. And I'm like, no, I was in love with them. I can't stop thinking about how you said I'm dealing with way more narcissism and curses from this when I tell my daughters that they stole. She's a black witch. I've been bewitched too. From his mother, tell my daughters that they stole. She's a black witch. Yeah. Like, here's the thing. Like, it's I've been bewitched too. That's hilarious. Like, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. I don't support pathologizing abuse, obviously, but like there's certain patterns of behavior that aren't exclusive to narcissism and probably wouldn't occur with narcissism. Like I hear like stalking, right? We have an avoidant personality style, so most of the time that won't happen. And I hear about that, and if they do show some like, if I hear other things, I'm like, oh, that is pathologically narcissistic. I'm like, okay, there's other things there that are influencing that probably. Or like with kids, every single narcissist I've ever talked to has had like this soft spot for kids and like pets. And if they are just completely dismissive of that, I'm like, fuck, that's some ASPD shit right there. Some crazy shit. Richard Gannon says his anecdotal evidence says a majority of narc relationships span ethnic lines because it isn't possible to go, this is normal in my culture, age group, etc. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because for a second, I was thinking about how, like, in personality disorders, it was like you have to keep in, because in the DSM it says, oh, you have to keep in mind culture because it might present differently. I have never, well, you have to also have to think a conflicting thing is like, I feel like narcissism can manifest as almost nationalism, right? Including their in-group and their culture as part of their grandiosity. So I think that if like things like that were happening, that may be a genuine thought of like, yeah, this is normal and it's better, right? Because effectively, what is nationalism? It is narcissism put to a level above. And like for a while, I don't talk about this too often because I don't really want people knowing it, but I fell into some political extremism, I'll say. I'm very far away from that now, but it was trauma related because like my mother and like her being a lesbian and stuff like that. It was bizarre. But my issue with that statement though is that there's an implied intent there, which I do not think is the case. I don't think a narcissist goes in like, I will manipulate this person. Our manipulation is often very defensive, right? Like, and defensive. we perceive a threat, right? And we're like, oh, manipulate. But I would never go into a relationship being like, I can leverage my like cultural heritage against them. And like, I feel like that statement really implies that unless he means that it's more likely to last because they can get away with certain behaviors. And maybe. I thank you for your narc transparency. Oh, thank you. I try my best. There's hardly any evidence and knowledge of MPD and the specific experiences that contribute to it. You're right. No, you're actually like completely right. With personality disorders in general, I would say with the exception of BPD to a certain extent. But there is some research. Like, for example, I read one study that showed that narcissistic personality disorder had like 0.71 heritability, which I was like, whoa, that's insane. But it's so hard to pinpoint down what causes a personality, let alone a personality disorder. Do narcissists use the twin flame theory to confuse their partners, or is that something they really believe? I think borderlines and MPDs do that all the fucking time, because I genuinely thought like that with my borderline person for a while. I'm like, oh, we're like, it was like a Romeo and Juliet situation. Oh my God, we're soulmates, but like the universe is against us. I genuinely think 99% of them are MPD and BPD relationships. I genuinely thought that when I was in that situation, though. I was not leveraging that. Oh my God, you're my soulmate. We were meant to be together. Like the universe, it's insane. But yeah, don't worry. No, that it was, as I said to John Anderson. By the way, John, I didn't say hi, but hi, what's up? It is not intentional. We don't go into relationships being like, I'm going to manipulate this person so they never leave me. It's very reactive on our part. James, what's happening, bro? I mean, you said hi to Systemic, but you know. Clinically, I come across people who have been overindulged, but often in the context of severe emotional neglect and fobbed off with goodies, but not truly seen and attuned to. Yes, that's also a big thing. People say sometimes that spoiling somebody can be a form of abuse. And not only that, but it's like there are subtle forms of trauma, right? Trauma isn't always like my childhood, which is kind of fucking in your face all the time. Trauma can be just not being attuned to your needs, not being super attentive. It can be just kind of failing as a parent. Like my dad was like super depressed. That led to a lot of neglect, and that wasn't the only thing that did it wrong, but that could be a form of trauma on my part that a lot of people wouldn't pick up on. It's like, oh, your dad's just depressed. Like that sucks, but like, it's so not related to me. Why do narcissists hate themselves so much? Fucking, I wish I could tell you, dude. There's just like this innate sense of badness. I just feel like I am inherently flawed. Took me a long time to like come to terms with that and like acknowledge it. Yes, I do feel like that because my grandiose defenses were so up at the time. But ostensibly, it's because of our childhood, we felt like we weren't worthy. We felt like we weren't good enough. Yes, when paranoia doesn't say what if. For me, paranoia is my reality. Yes. I don't believe anyone is not hurtful or safe. In fairness, I also feel that like people aren't safe. People are cruel. People are bad. Like I feel that a lot. I just don't let it affect. I guess I don't really feel it to the same extent that you do. What's funny is that since I've been in your Discord, I started to believe my violent impulses were pretty normal because we're all like, yeah, let's hunt down, murder all pedophiles and her kids. Yeah, this can be an issue with the Discord, not gonna lie, where I'm like, it's like normalizing some of our pathological thoughts. And I'm like in there being like, you know, fucking kill this damn pedophiles. I'm like, oh wait, like homicidal ideation probably isn't healthy. It's fucking funny. Yes, I mean, a narcissist frequently giving gifts, buying stuff for their partners. I assume that's when they're like super in like this idealization, or maybe to smooth things over. It's like, I can't bring myself to apologize because that's too shameful. So I'll just do something nice to make up for it. Like for me, it'd be like, oh my God, this person is perfect. I need to do everything for them. I need to take care of them, etc. It would be coming from a very genuine place. A lot of people would call that love bombing. I don't like love bombing. I think is a disingenuous term because we genuinely believe that we're in love with the person at the time. We think that like we're desperate for that love we never got as kids, right? So it comes from a very genuine place, a very traumatic place. And I accidentally told my boyfriend that I would love to personally murder such pedophiles and conclude that I'm in fact a crazy bitch. I'm sorry, Mar, my Discord is corrupting all of us. And he doesn't agree. Maybe he's the crazy one. Okay, all normal people, would you murder pedophiles? Give your answers in the comments below. No, put it in the chat. In my view, it's better focus on your own reaction to best serve your own needs, take care of yourself, than what isn't wrong with the other person. Yes, that's a great way to phrase it. I always say to people, even the worst relationships you have been in, there is something to take from it. If you fixate on what the other person is, did, whatever, what healing does it actually do for you? You need to look at yourself, be like, why did I allow myself to get into this situation? Why did I stay in this situation? Why didn't I have the boundaries to leave when I should have? What can I take from this relationship? How can I be better in the next one, etc.? That can lead to actual personal improvement. Those are more controllable. I can actually change how I feel about things. Not how I feel about things, but how I am as a person, if I am willing to engage with myself like that. I thought he was crazy and he thought I was crazy. I still think he's kind of crazy. Murder, pedophile, don't actually. I'm not actually saying do that, but you know. You know something, is grandiose and portrays as a victim, paranoid, schizophrenic, always PPD and MPD, has no friends, no GF, just my daughters. He keeps and covets. Interesting. See, I've always been curious that with a schizophrenic narcissist, like how the grandiosity would present, right? Because my grandiosity isn't completely egocentric. There's always a lot of self-doubt there, a lot of imposter syndrome. So I'm curious, like with the grandiose delusions on top of just an innate grandiosity, how that would present. Always paranoid and MPD. Yeah, like, interesting to think about at the very least. Sounds like you got a lot of fucking issues though. Jesus. Fuck that. What if my brother was also repeatedly molested at a young age and developed MPD while I developed DID? I feel like I have this thought daily since found you and I found out about it. I don't know enough about your situation to say definitively anything about that, but I do think it's a possibility to keep in mind. Who knows, really, obviously, but I think it's a possibility. No, like I have no idea though. And I don't want to convince you that that's the case, because I feel like that's, how do I put it? I feel like that would be influencing you in a way that might not be the real case. And I feel like that's bad. But I think it's something worth like considering. He locked me outside their house for 11 years, often mainly off dates. No one. My girls are too beautiful, sexy. I almost took off my glasses. No one dates no one. My girls are too beautiful and sexy to him. All their needs, 18, 20 now. He finds your children beautiful and sexy because it feels like there's some other issues there if that's going on. Holy shit. How did he get custody of them is my question. Fucking Christ. How long does a narcissist date someone before they start to think they own you? I never think I own my girlfriends. Thought I was going to say how long till devaluation, because it's very interesting. 4 months is generally, like, according to a study I read, 4 months is generally when we start to devalue. I think I own everybody to some degree, but it's like I've never been a controlling partner. That's more OCPD and PPD. I need to control, like, I need to be in charge, right? But I'm not a micromanager. I've never been jealous because, like, I'm the best you'll ever do. I've never been, like, I've never really controlled any of my exes. But after 4 months is generally when their happiness in the relationship with somebody with MPD starts to go down, which is ironic because that's actually when, like, a peak of happiness for other relationships. But yeah, I can't comment on that because avoidant dismissive attachment style, like most MPDs, but maybe yours was, like, all narcissists are different. Some will have different types of attachment styles. I will never be super controlling of a partner though. So Cluster B Milkshake might have a little bit more insight for you. Hey, James, 18 plus. That's what's up. Hey, Lupus is here. What's happening? I need to reply to you, by the way. Jesus, I fucking forgot. Shit has been crazy lately. Glad you're here, though. Glad you're here. You sound like a friendly narc. I wish more narcs were as aware of you. I'm co-parenting with a horrible person. Good for you being aware of yourself. Oh, thank you. Honestly, it's really fortunate for me that my self-absorption, like, manifested in a way of, like, I need to be more healthy. I need to figure out myself. Why do I behave the way that I do? And, like, fucking spending years just, like, reading study after study, trying to understand myself. like asking my friends why I do things and crap like that. I am a lucky case. Hey, I want to say sorry about how I left your Discord. Oh, hey, I'm proud of you for all your growth thus far. I hope you're well. Just here to learn from you and figure out shit along the way. Hey, man, no problem. You don't have... Okay, don't get me wrong, my abandonment issues a little bit, but don't worry about it. You have every right to be where you want to, but I appreciate you still supporting me and everything. Huh. I want to heart your comment about feeling bad. This Discord is taking over our lives. I was molested and didn't take it out on the world. Why do you guys take it on the people who did this to you? Why? I mean, can you not understand the urge to? Do you not have the urge? Because I feel like that's a big difference too. Because in my mind, I've always been like, well, the world fucked me. I'm going to fuck it back twice as hard. Why not? And I don't take it out on everybody, at least. I just always thought like, it made me think that everybody in the world was like cruel and unjust. And I got to take care of myself first. Nobody could ever love me. So fucking, if they wrong me, then it's because they, hate me and shit. And I need to get revenge and show people that they can't do that to me. I can't let that ever happen to me again. I mean, I feel like it's just a difference in how personalities develop. I feel like it's just to take it out on people who did it to me. I ever discuss that people when they like you? Depends, right? I feel disgusted at myself if they say things about me that I feel like are inherently not true. Like I made the example earlier. Oh my God, you're such a good person. You're so caring. That disgusts me. It disgusts me because one, I'm tricking them. Two, they're stupid enough to be tricked by me and they're just so inaccurate their perceptions of me. That disgusts me. If they like me for my intelligence, for my wit, for my charisma, those things are fine. Or if they love me for being bad, that's fine. But in the cases I mentioned, good question, Mar. Hey, Countess Karen from Dog Training Mexico. What is up? Thank you for coming. So when they say new supply isn't going anywhere, does that mean they're serious with that supply? Probably not. I wouldn't be. If I'm telling people that like it's not going anywhere, that means I would be like, that means I'm trying to find a way out. If I'm telling people that, especially the girl I'm probably trying to figure out if they're into me. And if I'm telling my friends that, I'm trying to get them to validate that like I should break up with them. I need to feel good about breaking up with them, like I'm right. So now, probably not serious. Is it true narcissists always have underlying depression / anxiety? Do narcs usually take meds? I take meds. I take Lamictal, a mood stabilizer, which has been helping with my depression and anxiety a little bit. But yes, fun fact, we actually have more latent stress level, like stress hormones in us than people with generalized anxiety disorder. Depression is also very common. Is stalking something cluster Bs have a tendency of doing? I don't understand why I'm internet stalking my friend's ex. I craved and reached out to him last week. I'm truly spiraling after a breakup. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, first of all. Depends. That's a generalization. I feel like the majority of people like, okay, wait, do you mean like internet stalking or like in-person stalking? Because very different. I think that like in-person stalking is a level that most cluster Bs wouldn't do. I think internet stalking is pretty damn normal for us. Because for me, I'm like, I need to keep tabs. I need to see if they're happier than me. I need to like know what's going on. I might avoid it sometimes just because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to think about that they might be doing better than me. They might be in a new relationship. I don't know, but like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people do that. I'm not sure. Still sorry to hear that, but yeah, I do. I personally do. I'm not sure if that's super common for all cluster Bs. I feel like it probably is though. Other cluster Bs, feel free to chime in. I know I got a bunch of you here. Can devaluation start a new supplies in place? Yes. I left before he was able to discard, and I saw sheer panic in his eyes. I could have sworn he was with somebody at that point, but maybe he wasn't solid. there's a couple things to address here. One, yes, my devaluation happens regardless of if I have like a backup person, right? I don't like calling people supply. It feels dehumanizing. But yeah, and like it probably was panic or shame. Like we have abandonment issues. We do. Even if I did have somebody on the rope, so to speak, like when I cheated on my ex with my BPD, I was like terrified that she wouldn't be in my life anymore. I couldn't have her leave. It's a terrified of abandonment. And so even if he was seeing somebody else, that abandonment issue probably came up. But it often, again, avoidant dismissive attachment style will start devaluing at some point, probably, unless we like really got a handle on our shit. And often we don't, like, again, I stay single for like years between relationships. Man, not years, but like months between relationships. I never have a backup usually. I might have somebody that I'm like, maybe I'll go for them afterwards. But I've never had like another person in place. BPT is sexually more evidence there. Yes, true. I still do think it's mainly due to trauma though. As a BPT, I was 100% sure twin flames are a real thing. Oh, Mark, come on now. Yeah, I feel that though. I also like kind of romanticize the idea in my head. I think I just wanted to believe it, you know. I was like, that's why it's not working out. And that means we'll be together eventually because we're soulmates. Yeah, I think I'm right too. I mean, it's like, what else can you really chalk it up to, right? What do you feel when somebody important implements no contact on you? I'm fucking a mess. I'll literally be such an anxious wreck. You like, fuck. Once that happened, I literally like shut myself in my room for like 3 days. I won't talk to anybody. But then like I go through like this spiraling. It's like I go between rage and shame and like back and forth all the time. Because I'm trying to tell myself, I'm like, no, they weren't fucking worth it anyway. They aren't worth your fucking time. They're idiots. And then like also like, how could I do this? I'm a terrible person. Why'd they leave me? It's not good. It's not pretty to witness. But like most narcissists probably won't let you see that because it's shit. It's too much. Like we don't want anybody to see our emotions. His mother and I went to the room and saw us codependent based on childhood trauma, which an issue is a full like. Well, I will say that like unless she's like unless she's okay, yeah, I guess knowing your like the puppet master that like your fucking mom is or his mom is, like maybe that, yeah, I can see that happening, but like fuck, I can never see that happening. The worst thing I can see doing to my kids is like just kind of being like towards them, like just like not really caring, and even that's unlikely. I would never hurt my kids or do some shit like that. Unless you genuinely love the kid. Fuck. That's fucked up. 1 second. I gotta check my TikTok, guys, because like, okay, I have like a severe issue where I am obsessed with my stats on every social media. And I guess that's apt for a narcissist, right? I made a TikTok about kids recently, and that just reminded me of it. Let's see. 78 new notifications. Why do all narcissists wear sunglasses inside? Fuck this person. Fuck this person. Oh my God, I started that. It's symbolic of hiding the self. Why does everybody listen to me? These people are so stupid. I hate TikTok so much. I hate them all. Yes, it's trauma that caused NPD. These comments are so stupid. I'm mad, guys. I really am. Guys, go on TikTok and just harass everybody who comments. Fucking Christ. No, grandma, if your partner is safe from Asia, you can always go, well, I don't see why you're so upset. You Asians are so sensitive. This is perfectly normal in America. Ask anyone. That is basically a form of denying somebody else's reality, which it may mean by gaslighting, intentional or not. I've experienced this and bought it, stupid as I was. I can see that kind of be... I can see that happening, but by coincidence, right? I wouldn't go into a relationship doing that. I can see that being used. and probably genuinely believing in certain times. I could see myself actually using that to get out of the situation, being like, oh no, like this is normal in my culture. Like you can't be mad at me. Please don't make me feel shame. But personally, I've never been in a situation like that. I've always dated like white Anglo girls, so I'm being honest. Not to say that like, not to say it really matters, but to me, but like that's just always been my type. Would you ever change your place of residence after some extremely shameful act you did? I can see myself do it. I have been so tempted to like move to Boston. Holy shit. I don't want anybody to know me anymore because I've done so much shameful shit here. I can barely handle living here anymore. Every day I'm afraid I'll go outside and people will just be judging me. Fuck. I'm really thinking about it right now. Shame. Fuck. I threw him out when I moved because I couldn't take the crazy home life. Moved in with me for the next 9 years, so I got pregnant. Pregnant times 2, then abandoned me. Fucking hell. You people, oh my gosh. I don't know how you guys get into these situations, honestly. Like, I wish I had more like advice for you guys. I really don't. Fuck. Narcissists or not, fuck that. Jesus Christ. Hope things are better for you, honestly. Do narcissists ever recognize their fault in a problem? I do. Especially if it's an accident. If I was doing it intentionally, I will never, like if I did an action intentionally, then I will never fucking admit that I'm wrong. But then if I did it on accident, I'll be like, yeah, fuck, I fucked up, whatever, sorry. Try and move past the situation. I like people say like, oh, narcissists never admit they're wrong. Maybe we never admit it. We always know it, I think, to some degree. That is when it's an accident. If I intentionally did something, even if it was made to hurt somebody, especially, I own it. I'm like, yeah, you deserved it. Like I did that on purpose because you fucking hurt me. You were the cause of my emotions. So fuck you. I can't say I wouldn't murder them rather than have them arrested. No prison dynamics, punish them accordingly. Trust me. Okay, prison story time, everybody. Fucking buckle up. No, this isn't a bad one. So when I was in the prison, there was a bunch of cell blocks, right? So there was like a big courtyard, and then surrounding it were like what we called pods. Each pod had 120 cells in it. There was 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 1B, 2B, 3, or is it B2? Yeah, 1B, 2B. You get the picture. And a lot of these were dedicated to certain things. And 4D was a super easy pod to work in because it was all white old guys who were fucking chomos and diddled kids. And trust me, they did not get what they deserved. I said they're like by far the best pod to be in because they're all really well behaved and all working and stuff. They were playing fucking D&D. I remember I told my roommate about that. And he was like, what the fuck would prisoners be playing in D? How would they be playing D&D? You're walking through a forest and all of a sudden a bunch of bitch ass Crips bust out of the wood line. Roll to bust cement caps. No, fucking but yeah, like literally prison dynamics are in Chomo's favors. Hell, they'll have gay lovers in there. Once I was doing count to those pieces of shit, is what I'll say. We're like fucking and shit. I opened the door and I fucking OC'd them, saying that they were in a fight. The case manager brings me in. They weren't in a fight, were they? I was like, sir, they look like they're in pain. Oh, that was funny. Fuck Chomos. James is ready for mass pedophile killing. Let's go. Everyone's saying hi to each other so fucking awesome. Isn't it? See, this is what I love about having a small channel right now, is that like it's a genuine community. Like I am like afraid of the day that I have so many people that everybody is just like a nameless or a nameless or like a faceless like person and just a sea of everybody. Because nowadays, like 90%, like I would say half the people in this chat I fucking recognize. I have seen comment and I know something about their past, their pathology, or their personality. And there's going to be a day that I don't have that anymore, and that's really going to suck. I suspect my 21-year-old daughter is a narcissist, vulnerable presentation. She seems jealous of me. Very strange. I'm constantly making passive-aggressive comments. Any advice? Fuck. Karen, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Show her my videos. No, I'm joking. Oh, my God. See, here, coming from a parenting perspective, I'm really, like, hesitant to answer this. But I guess she is 21, so that dynamic has turned less from mother-daughter to more of, like, a mutualistic thing. If she's vulnerable presenting, I assume that means that she is indicating like some personal suffering, right? Have you encouraged her to go to therapy for that personal suffering? Not related to narcissism, but like, oh man, my life is so bad, blah, blah, blah. It's like, have you tried therapy to make you feel better, right? Because that's the issue with pathological narcissism and personality disorders in general is until you're self-aware, there's so little you can do to fix it. I mean, and I'll just say also strong boundaries, obviously, which sounds weird to say, but strong boundaries are always important in a relationship with cluster B, no matter how that dynamic with you. Sorry to hear that though, fuck. I'm afraid to have kids because I'm like, what if I make somebody like me? Or worse, my sister. Do you still love any of your exes that have discarded you? Or do you feel like you can easily detach from it? I'm more likely to love an ex if they broke up with me. And it would be disingenuous for me to say that I don't love still my BPD ex. Like every now and then, like I'll have like intrusive thoughts being like, oh my God, what if we're meant to be together? We aren't. We're terrible for each other and I'll never be with her again. But yeah, I still do have those stupid feelings. Do narcissists like to cuddle? Depends. When I cuddle, honestly, and like sometimes, like it's weird. Sometimes, it feels gross to me sometimes because I feel like they don't actually like see me. They don't actually love who I am, so it feels cold, and I feel like I'm lying to them. But sometimes, like I'll like be holding a girl, and it feels like I'm trying to like get them as close to me as possible. Like I'm trying to like put them fucking inside me, and no matter how close I hold them, it's like never enough. Like I will like literally like crush them, not like literally, but like put like serious pressure on them because I am so desperate to make them like to like fill that void, I guess. I don't know. But again, there are times I'm like, don't touch me. Why say narcissists have no real friends? I don't know why they say that. I will say though that when I lost a bunch of my friends, a lot of them said that none of them really felt like they were actually my friends. That because I always would like look down on them and shit. And like it didn't feel like that to me. Right. But whatever. Fuck, I lost my place. Oh. What side of your shit makes you think, hey, I might be a narcissist? Not being able to connect to people. All my relationships fucking ended in ruin. Nothing I did was ever good enough. Those are the main things. And I was miserable all the time. I need to wrap up this stream soon. Yeah, actually, I won't put a comment being like, no more questions, so I know where I was. I might go live on TikTok later just because I'm curious about the place. A schizophrenic narcissist could possibly have hallucinations. I've also seen the physical manifestation of the vulnerable and grandiose states. And they could be overly overt. Holy fucking, I don't know, man. Fuck. I guess I can see that. That'd be insane. It's like when I trip acid, not actually, I don't like hallucinate like that. All I want to do is bad things to him because I'm a Christian. He gave me children to steal them from me. Victim stories where his pregnancy was punishment. Pregnancy was punishment, Jesus. I can't judge you if you do bad things to him. I don't advise it because it just perpetuates that cycle of abuse. Still, there's situations that's fucking rough. I'm sorry. Damn, I love your answer about when you were disgusted people like you and you were not. As long as I agree and didn't half-assedly make them think that it's just kind of dumb, I love it. It's the facts. As a narcissist, are you aware that you're completely fake? Yeah, I feel fake and like a lie all the time. Everything I do feels like a fucking lie. Even when I think I'm being genuine, it just feels like a fucking lie. It doesn't matter. I don't know, because I'm always trying to do things for my self-esteem regulation. It feels like I can't do anything for other people. It fucking sucks. And to some extent, it's pathological. It's my imposter syndrome. Also, a lot of it is fake, though. I fucking hate it. It makes me feel so disgusted with myself because everything's so fucking calculated. Ugh, I hate it. But yeah, I'm aware of it. Painfully aware of it. My daughter's new supply since 2 and 3.5 was first selling during 3 years later, though. Indoctrinate completely, needs evaluation, is tortured. My very existence jailed me. Fuck! Jailed you falsely 2 times. Fucking Christ. Seriously, like, fuck. That's awful. What do he like accuse you of? Again, I'm sorry. I got no advice for you just because like I don't have any personal experience with that kind of stuff. And like I have no idea. I really don't. Fuck, I'm sorry though. As a BPD, so internet stalker people will be able to absorb their personality. So I can casually mention some author if they post about a book they read by. Mar? I don't relate to that one at all. I would never do that, at least that portion of it. It's kind of weird because I can't view people into, like, it's so hard for me to view people, like, as full people. I just saw that TJ Tampa came in. What's going on? I'm still going to catch up. Fuck. Mar, that was fucking insane. I get it though, borderlines. Yeah, I've never done that. It's hard to make a full image of people. If you ask me some of my friends' favorite interests, I would be so... Seth likes board games. Video games. What is Jarrett like? He's like intellectually minded. Fuck. I'm just done. Are you aware of your false self? False self, real self, false self gap. I don't think I have a real self. I'm aware of like the difference between my vulnerability and grandiosity. I'm pretty sure it's a Sam Backman thing that you're quoting, and I have my thoughts about him, but I'm aware that like I never live up to my own expectations, what I want for myself. I'm aware that like nothing I do is ever good enough. I'm aware of those things. I agree. I never met somebody with MPD without a lot of trauma in their background. Right? Right? And like, sure, maybe there are people who were overindulged and got MPD, right? I personally have never seen that. Maybe like the genetics was too strong. I want Jesus Christ every day throughout the day to deal. I hope it's going well for you. I'm glad I'm glad you can find comfort in that, honestly. Sam Backman did a video on Jesus being a psycho-narcissist. Yeah, he did this whole fucking video on God being a narcissist. And I'm like, dude, you're off your fucking rocker. And it's funny when you think about it, right? He's trying to associate himself with God through the connection of narcissism. It's so fucking funny. That dude's so caught up in his grandiosity. It's insane. My friend, not diagnosed with MPD, but exhibits a lot of traits, reached out to tell me I'm going to be extremely busy with A and B, so please don't be offended if I disappear for a bit. This is new for her to communicate when she needs space for going MIA rather than ghosting. Could this be a genuine effort on her end? Honestly, yeah. I don't see any red flags in that to feel like it wouldn't be. Let me look through it real quick. Yeah, and to me that sounds like it is effort, like if I'm being honest. I can't imagine, like, because I really go, when I learn I'm doing something bad, I really go out of my way to do something good because I'm like, oh my God, they're going to hate me. But I can't know completely. Let me put it this way. I think it's a very real possibility. I don't know her, your situation well enough to say definitively, but don't dismiss it just because she's a narcissist. Like, I think it's worthwhile to take that face value. That's just my take, though. Who knows? Jay, if I'm out with DID, like anyone with a high dissociation symptomology, people with DID have low cortisol levels. Really? So your guys' defense mechanisms are working. Fuck. That's funny. No, that's really interesting, though. I had no idea about that. It makes sense to some degree. And also not sense to some degree because, trauma. Right? Well, wait. Isn't cortisol the isn't that the hormone that like absorbs the stress hormone, or am I getting those confused? Because I know that some people would measure stress based on the levels of cortisol that were present in the system, but then they realized that with PTSD, they had lower cortisol levels, but higher the other stress hormone, like the real stress hormone, and the body actually undercompensates for stress. I'm not sure if that's your situation, but it happens. I'm always paranoid she has ill intentions, but I want to believe she's trying. See, and that's another thing with it is I'm like, how could she leverage that, right? By communicating that she's going to be going AWOL for a little bit. That's the only reason that I'm like, yeah, that very likely could be genuine. Does anybody who is active in social media not obsessed about their stats? Fair enough, yeah. Well, it's like genuinely a problem for me sometimes. I'll spend like an hour or like throughout the day. I'll like after I post a TikTok, I'm like obsessed. I will like not stop looking at it. Speaking of, I need to check it again. Only 20 notifications. Oh my God, everybody hates me. Like literally looking in the comments, seeing if any of them are fucking stupid and I should remove them. Okay, looks like they're all fine. Everything's good. Everything's fine. I mean, Narcissist reacts to dumb TikTok comments. Ah, yes, that'd be hilarious. This entire video of me being like, dumb, 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 dumb. Fucking Christ. Here for 12 years, caught him cheating and to avoid accountability. He left with her. She BPD. I heard she cuts herself and they've been together for 8 months now, but he obsessively cyber stalks me and my new BFY. Keep tabs to see if you're happier, because we view everything through that comparative lens and we want to be doing better than everybody. We want to be happier than everybody. We want everybody to know that we're happier than them, because that's how we convince ourselves that we are. It's always fucking miserable. And we need to feel better about ourselves by comparing it. Trust your gut. I agree. We'd be here all day. Or either I rage so much you never upload out of shame. Yeah, true. I might, oh my God, this jewel pod is fucking breaking. I'm pissed. What if I licked the nicotine juice? What do you think would happen? TikTok seems full of teenage angst. Yeah, fucking true. Try to avoid that. Best to avoid that place. I hate it. I literally don't use TikTok. I literally only use it to post my shit. I avoid it at all costs. I'm honestly writing it down now. That's a fucking good idea. Thank you, Mar, for proposing it. Mar, you are like my advisor now. BPD advisor and otherwise. I'm going to defer to you from now on. Should I make merch? Mar, tell me. Once we're on. Unless you're an silent visible torch, he's lucky I'm a good person and can handle this and not kill myself. Yeah, I'm proud of you for that. Please don't kill yourself, please. What would you consider as personality forming trauma? Good question. I don't know. Don't know fully, because trauma can be so subtle, as I was saying. Like, how can you tell if somebody has trauma? Somebody can be traumatized with something very simple, like like feeling misunderstood all the time as a kid. Not getting our needs exactly met. Could be something obvious. Could be like, a suicide that's close to them. Could be a sexual assault nobody knows about. I think there's a lot of types of trauma that people can't foresee that could lead to it. Fog lost my place. I decided to throw out my weed stash yesterday. But yeah, sobriety. I haven't spoken to escape my mental issues since 14. Since substances severely cloud my judgment and hindered my growth. Same, bro. Fucking same. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I think substance abuse for anybody going through traumatic experiences and trying to heal is really bad, myself included. I'm just awful. I support anybody trying to clean themselves up and have a more healthy relationship with substances. You can always have a VIP extra backstage live for the favorites when you end up famous. Oh, that'd be funny. Be like, I imagine I'm up on a stage. I'm like, by the way, people who can come on back, I just list off of my regulars. Shan, Lupus, Freddie, Mar, Systemic. Who are some others? Karen from Early Morning Mexico. Early Morning Mexico? Jesus Christ. Dog Training Mexico. There's more, obviously. I'm just not going to list off everybody I remember. Literally, I remember so many fucking people. So she hates me and acting like my daughter telling me, Dad hates you. She's doing my face. Teenage angst combined with abusive parent, not a good time. Will you always eventually reach out to exes even if they left you first? No, I will not. Most of the time I won't. Too shameful. I think it's fucking pathetic if I reach out to an ex. That shows that I'm dependent on them, that I need them, and I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody. My daughter does go to therapy. Interesting. She was telling me anything about what she discusses. Who wants me to pay for the sessions? Entitlement. Fuck, that's weird then. You might just buy your time in that way. Until then, strong boundaries. Maybe you're right about having the random contest for one-on-ones for my members. Because shit, that's rough, really rough. Because I probably need to know more about the situation, what you need to deal with specifically to be able to answer in full. While cuddling, I want to create so much pressure that will merge cluster B romance. Yeah, Mar, this is some fucking. All right, I love how we phrased it differently, but very similarly, because I was like, I want them inside of me, and there's that whole narcissistic thing of making people a part of you by extension, and you want them to merge because borderline enmeshment and boundary. You know what I'm talking about, right? Becoming one. I find that subtle difference in phrasing so interesting. Yay, cluster B hug. Leave me out of it. I'm joking. Love you guys. Yes, I want to live inside of you in a creepy way. For me, it is a creepy way. Oh, that's fucking funny. Jay, consider healing when I think you shouldn't be afraid of having kids for the reason that they have personality disorder too. Some people do have kids, they don't bother. Agreed. But there's two levels of it, right? One, I don't want to be like my parents. Fuck. And on the more rational side of things, I'm never going to be completely good, right? Every now and then I might rage. Fuck, I hadn't had a rage episode in a year. And I did the a couple weeks ago. I'm always going to be a little bit emotionally dysregulated. I'm always going to be a little bit grandiose. There's issues that come up that like there's no way for me to fix. So it's like, I mean, like, I feel like there's too much at risk. I guess I'll see where I am a couple years down the line. And I'm not closing myself off to it completely. But, oh, I finally reached my no more questions and shit. It's been like 15 minutes. TJ Tampa, like, I'm finally getting to your question. Thank God. Maybe you can create a special group for regular people. I have the Discord, which I plan on closing off at some point. Other than that, I don't have much. And it's really cluster B dominated right now, which on one hand, I really enjoy. But on the other hand, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm alienating like the normal, quote unquote, people. I thought of raising the issues directly with her to surface the conflict. We live in different countries, so I don't see her very up. Different countries, really. I feel like, and there's a very specific way you have to bring up issues like that, right? It's just like you can't have too much anticipation. You have to kind of like, you have to phrase it in ways that makes it seem like it's not completely their fault. Like, I'm trying to think of how to want it phrased to me. Hey, I feel like we have a better relationship if we did this. No, I don't know. That might piss me off too. Or maybe bring up their quarrels first and then be like, I completely understand. Can I talk about mine? I don't know. I would have to think about that, actually. I'm not sure. I need to talk to my roommate about how to bring shit up with me because they're really good at it. Not Josh, but the other one. It was all the time. If they were, I was baiting and abused and scarred. I am sorry. Again, I'm not sure if I should give advice or not, but I am sorry. Oh, hey, Al, I'm sorry. Please watch the video later. Hello at the timestamp they were creating this platform to talk to you. Oh, thank you. I do my best. Yeah, I just answered that earlier. I'm sorry. You can go and make your channel blow up. Also keep a separate invitation only for your small community. That's kind of what I'm thinking because it's like people like you too. It's like I know a lot of you, and I'm like, because my channel is so, it's basically revolves around me oversharing, right? I'm like, and like a lot of people feel comfortable in sharing what they've been through. And so it's like, I feel like I really know some of these people and I really enjoy the dynamic that we have. And I'm like, ugh. I don't know. Believe you'll be a terrific father one day when you're ready. No hurry on that. It takes forever to be a parent. Thank you. But ultimately, rewards are bigger than tough times. I just feel like it's selfish, I'm being honest, for me. I don't know, though. Are you consciously mirroring people? No. I take on traits of people that I admire. Agree about back then from Karen. Yes. Various comments about Karen. Yes. Are you personally capable of accept? I said no more questions, by the way. Barely. I have ways of dealing with it now. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Okay, maybe I was thinking about something else then. I thought that was the one that absorbed stress, and like people measured it to measure stress. With back then, love me and obey me or burn forever. Doesn't get more grandiose than that. I read the Bible unbiased when I was actually in high school. I read through the entire scripture and I got a lot out of it, if I'm being real. There was some parts I was like, holy shit. Like when the Jewish people, when they like conquered Judea, some of those parts I was like, but I think a lot of it like had a lot of value to it regardless. So you're lucky. Only let's get out of my head. Yeah, he is lucky. Sorry, I'm rushing through these because I got to go. Well, I don't really have to go, but like I'm just trying to finish up the stream. Says on Vancouver that we can psychosis in young adults. Yes, it happened to me. I can tell the story next time. It's main stress hormone, the body's alarms to fight or flight. I need to look up what that one stress hormone was that I was thinking about then. The only thing it feels something has nothing. Very true. Hi, Purple Frog. Yo, I'm drunk. Just want to say hello. And fuck everything is okay. It's all good. I don't care personality or not. We got this shit. No one's our story. You can't convince me otherwise. Amen. That's why I always say John Anderson. I think it was John Anderson. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he uses the term normally disturbed, and I fucking love that And that's why I always say normal in quotes, right? We all got shit to work through, and we're all in this together to some extent. More like late afternoon Mexico, true. I still can't believe he says her name right now. Yeah, I can't believe it either. I 100% buy your sunglasses ever make a commercial line, but I'm not a responsible businesswoman, so don't listen to me. Don't do it. But yes, please do. Mar, you are now my advisor. I'm trying, like, I'm going to go to you for, like, fucking TikToks ideas and shit. Mar is the official nameless assistant. That's a great idea, Mar. It is. It is. Thank you, Lupus. The subtle difference between when we phrase the cuddling is so good, it really fucking is. It was honestly hilarious. I saw that and I was like, oh my God. And no friend's 11 years old. I tucked her away in the back. How the fuck did he get custody? Jesus Christ. You didn't get them out of that situation. Where is Josh? He's been gone for a little bit, but he's back now. He was at Lost Lands. You guys probably don't know what it is, but basically like this hippie festival where everyone's on ketamine and LSD all the time. I'm pretty sure he's in his room right now. Have you watched Crappy Childhood and Fairy? I have not. I'll look into that though. What is it? This is nuts. I only clicked as I was intrigued. Are you high on something? Excuse me. No, I'm a little tipsy because I've been drinking, but no, I'm not high. Huh. Do you have milestones and therapies or goals? I don't, but that's a really fucking good idea to like start making like, okay, goal. I think my therapist has been trying to do that and I've just been dismissive. Oh. Larger PSD, lower associated with CPTSD. Lower associated with CPTSD? Interesting. I did not know that either. I have PTSD, not CPTSD, so. Weird is liking on traits people inherently on PT trying to do that. Some combination every person I've ever admired. I guess not completely, but we do it to a particular extent. Like I've said before, I feel like my entire personality is just a patchwork of people I admired over these. What's not Toronto? Yeah. That was a little rude, but like, we'll see how she responds. I might reply. I might agree with you or otherwise. V, hi. I'm trying to fucking wrap shit up. I'm sorry. I might go live on TikTok though. So if you guys want to continue this, I'll probably go live at like 8. I've heard that he has BPD. I'm not sure about anything else though. I do want to watch that new show about him though, but I haven't got a chance to yet. Dahmer is God. Okay. James, can we chill? Only sir, just want to be close when I cuddle you all are a bit scared. John, I am sorry. I appreciate you though, dude. So it was you who made that though. I wasn't being crazy. I'm glad. Yeah, we're a bit scary. I'm sorry. We try our best though. Therapy is a private place. She shouldn't tell what she talks about. You pay for her sessions because you love her and want to give it. I mean, I do. I agree with that to a certain extent. How late is 8 in European? Oh, fuck. I didn't even think about that. 1 second. Actually, let me look that up. I mean, half my audience isn't fucking American, so. Wait, fuck. Oh shit! So it's 11:23. Wait, is 11:23 a.m. for you guys? Mara, what time is it there for you right now? I had a friend in Europe for a while, so I can kind of tell. It's 11:30 and 11:07 in England. In the morning or at night? I don't know. PM. Okay, so shit. So that's 2 hours. That's 2 hours from now, Mar. Can meditation cure a narcissist? Nothing can cure a narcissist. But I think meditation can help us like practice mindfulness and stuff, right? And self-reflect. I do believe on that. Oh yeah, Ruth, you're from the UK. Also, like I just thought about this. You're a Gestalt therapist, right? Because okay, I'm not trying to be. Oh fuck! Oh my god, my hair. You're a Gestalt therapist, right? Because I did look you up because I was curious. Sorry, don't mean to be creepy, but I hear that Gestalt therapy is like super effective for NBD. So I'd love to talk about that if we do end up doing something together. Okay, so got it. All right, so I assume my schema sorry, that's what I meant. Not fucking Gestalt. I don't know why I said that. I just confused the two. But yeah, schema is like super effective in wait, John, you're in Scandinavia? What the fuck? But yeah, I meant schema therapy though. I don't know why I confused them like that. Therapists for sure and the family involved have good interaction. The patient agrees. It's that. And see, I feel like family sitting in on therapy sessions can be super positive, but it has to be like an occasional thing, right? I think that like if it's like every session, then the individual in it, like unless they're like super comfortable with that person, they can know everything. You know. Why is he getting so flustered over his hair? So funny watching. I'm sorry. That's why you're so sophisticated, males and females, I guess. All right. I'm not sure, like I'm just a pathological narcissist. I don't know what you're like getting at here. I am sophisticated as hell though. Look at me. I'm a classy man as I fucking drink my goddamn whiskey. Oh, good shit. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Your situation seems fucking awful. I hope you end up all right. I agree with this as well. Okay, I think we'll wrap up. If anybody has some final thoughts, shoot them. I won't be done for a little bit, take a break, and then I'll possibly go live on TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, try to fucking just do that. So I saw many narcissists are rarely envious. It's a symptom criteria. We are like obsessively envious. I don't know the prevalence. Like I know, I have to look it up actually, but I know that lack of empathy is only present in 44% of narcissists. But it's a symptom criteria, so it is probably pretty frequently envious. You're lucky you know nursing. Oh, thank you. I am. You rock. I try. Oh yeah, and I agree 100% with this. Please get a therapist because you have some trauma. I'm not gonna lie. Oh shit, actually. Prayers for Angela. Amen. All right. Budweiser isn't classy. I'm drinking whiskey this time. That's classy. All right. No reason to be rude. I will probably ban you from this channel if y'all fucking keep fucking fighting like this. No reason for that. Try to make the live. Thank you, Mar. It's kicking off. All right. I'll catch y'all later. I don't know if I'm going to know how to fucking end this shit. All right. Cheers.